The next thing is about hikmah of God. If you have many questions, I stop here. If you have just 1-2 questions, I can mention hikmah. Do you have many questions or just? Okay. So maybe I also explain hikmah and then we stop, because I think we can stop maybe 5 minutes for question. The next quality of God is hikmah, wisdom. Wisdom is used in different senses. Sometimes, for example, Allama Hilli says, sometimes hikmah is used in the sense of knowing everything. So it's a type of knowledge. But something which is normally meant by hikmah is to know the best way that things can be, to know the best system, to know the best order. Here, in both cases, hikmah is taken as a part of knowledge. Sometimes it is used as a kind of quality of action, in the sense that you do things which is the best. You do things which is meaningful and purposeful. Hakim, if I want to make it very simple, Hakim is the one that is aware of what he is doing. So first of all, he is aware. Secondly, he is aware of the things that need to be done. So he knows the priority, he knows what is the best. And then he does the best thing which is possible. He does the best thing which serves the purpose. This is Hakim. So Hakim is not doing things only because he wants to keep himself busy. Unfortunately, sometimes people do things just because they can do it. Okay? It's like, for example, I know how to drive and I have a car, so I just start driving. This doesn't make sense. You just start driving without having any purpose. Maybe your purpose is, for example, you want to enjoy driving. That's another thing. That again, it's a purpose. But even if you don't want to drive for enjoying driving, and you are just driving without knowing why, this is not what a rational person do. What a wise person do. A wise person has reason for everything. Okay? With respect to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, there was a discussion, very hot debate among some schools of theologians, some schools of mutakallimin. Some had the idea that God does not have any purpose in his actions. In Arabic we say gharad. Okay, gharad. So they say the actions of God are not mu'allalatan bil aghraz. Laysat af'alullah mu'allalatan bil aghraz. God has no purpose in his actions. Do you know why they had this idea? You can guess. Because they thought having a purpose makes God needy. Yeah? We human beings have purpose in doing things because we are needy. We make a chair because we want to sit on it and have comfort. Or we want to sell it, make money. Okay? So we have a purpose. But God doesn't have any need. So they thought in this way they are serving God's needlessness, God's richness, by saying that he doesn't have any purpose. But then Shiite theologians and some Sunni, but the Shiite theologians, all of them, and especially then philosophers, they had the idea that God's actions have purpose. It's not that they are done without purpose, without thinking, without understanding, without aiming, without having purpose. There is purpose. But the purpose is not to benefit God. This is the problem. If you think that God has a purpose and that is to benefit himself, to serve himself, that's the problem. But if the purpose is to benefit others, this is not a problem. This is not a sign of need. Okay? So, God creates things, does things with very, very specific purpose in his knowledge. But all the things that are going to happen as a result of these actions are not for himself, are for his creatures. In Farsi, we have a very beautiful poem which says, من نکردم خلق تا سودی کنم بلکه تا بر بندگان جودی کنم. I have not created the people in order to benefit. I have created in order to show my generosity. Okay? So sometimes a teacher teaches in order to gain salary, in order to gain respect, in order to increase his knowledge, or in order to make sure that he doesn't forget. So sometimes a teacher, through teaching, gains something. But sometimes a teacher only teaches because he wants knowledge to be spread. He doesn't want any person suffer from ignorance. Okay? So, if a teacher is teaching in order to just help people, can you say he has no purpose? He has purpose, but the purpose is not to benefit himself. A doctor, a medical doctor, can see the patients and help them, sometimes because of money, sometimes because he wants to gain experience, he wants, I don't know, to build his CV, I don't know, he wants respect. Okay, this is possible. But sometimes maybe we have a doctor who doesn't need money, who doesn't need any recognition, very well established, okay? But he loves to help people who are ill. He doesn't want anyone to suffer from illness. So he has purpose. And actually his purpose is higher. So God has purpose, but the purpose is not selfish, is not based on self-interest.